What's up, decoders? Welcome back. And once again, thank you guys for coming on today. Hopefully, let me make sure everything's set up. And I just got back from Joseph's live stream. If you guys didn't check out Joseph's live stream, he just finished on the Hunter Biden thing. Go check that out. Joseph's in the chat, Joseph Aquaviva 2222. And go check out his live stream of the Hunter Biden thing. That news was breaking just as I was, I didn't have time to really put anything together on that, but Joseph covered that perfectly. So go check out that video if you guys are interested in that Hunter Biden thing that just happened. I'll probably have more with the Hunter Biden stuff, but what I'm about ready to present in this video is connected to everything that's going on right now. Everything that's going on right now is connected so perfectly to ritual magic. And I'm going to show you guys just how and how crazy all this is with Trump, with Aleister Crowley, with, his religion, Thelema, and this witch hunt thing. There's just so much to this. And I can't cover all this in one video, but what I'm going to do here is lay down to you guys. If you guys want to watch this presentation all the way to the end, I'm going to get into the presentation right now, but you guys are going to want to watch the end because the really juicy stuff is at the very end or towards the end. But I'm going to set the groundwork as in the beginning here and just kind of show you all the events happening right now are connected to Aleister Crowley and ritual magic. And people often wonder, how do they do these gematria rituals? How do they make all these numbers line up? Well, perhaps it's some sort of actual manifestation magic, right? And remember, it's been said many times in the NBA that black magic is involved, right? So we're going to talk about that. And hopefully you guys are going to be able to follow along as I dig into this. But we'll wait a few minutes for a few more people to join, and then we'll get started. So thank you, Brother Joseph. Much love to you as well. Thank you, John, Ashley, Carol, Michael, Graham, Joni, Elena. Much love to all of you guys. Thank you for joining as usual. And so hopefully you guys are doing well out there today. It's June 11th, right? Jurassic Liars always talks about this day. So we'll see if something does more go down today. And remember, also tomorrow is a very interesting day. I've pointed out all the 222 connections to tomorrow, June 12th. So expect some connections with the 222s tomorrow. That's what I'm expecting. So we'll see. Hello, Coffee Girl. Hello, Chad. Hope you guys are well. And so looks like we got 39 in the chat. I don't know if this live stream seems to be being censored a bit more. So yeah, we'll jump into it. I guess this says there's only 39 in the chat, but we'll give another minute, I guess. Hello, Astro Pains. Hello, Phoenix, Keeper of the Homestead. Hope you guys are also well. All right, let's do it. So you guys know that this Trump thing just happened, and now we had Biden or Hunter Biden being in the courts too. So this is all connected. And honestly, I need to look more into the Hunter Biden thing and how it connects to this, but it's also connected with this, I'm sure. So yeah, let's just jump into it. Donald Trump. Okay, let me recap. Okay, Donald Trump was convicted of 34 felony counts. When number 77, Luka Magick, was leading his team to the NBA Finals. Okay, so this is where this all starts, right? This basketball player was leading his team to the finals the same day Trump got convicted. And, of course, President Donald Trump, 77, 34 felony counts, 77. This is in the cipher, the seven cipher, the septenary cipher, okay? This was all connected to the Christ ritual because it happened on the feast. It happened on the Feast of Corpus Christi, okay? and guilty verdict equals 77. So this 77 number, I've been talking a lot about it. It's going to come up more in this stream. But I just want to make the connection to this player because his name is Luka Magick. Okay, like magic, right? And his name is Doncic, like Donald Doncic, right? And his nickname is a big clue here. Why is he nicknamed Luka Magick? And do not forget that Trump has often referred to this as a witch hunt. Okay, Trump turns New York fraud trial into a campaign stop, a witch hunt. He calls it a witch hunt. Okay, so there you go. You got Luka Magick, and now you got Donald Trump referring to this trial case as a witch hunt. Okay, and I just that's how I'm going to begin this connection, but it's going to get way deeper, guys. What I'm about ready to show you, no one else has shown in the gematria community before with Aleister Crowley and the Magick. Okay, the all that kind of stuff. All right, so again, remember Luka Magick, the same day Donald Trump was on trial, he leads his team to the finals against Boston, which equals 77. Now, there's a big thing that happened in Massachusetts where Boston is. They were called the Salem witch trials. Okay, so here we go. Donald Trump referring to his trial as a witch hunt, and then Luka Magick being connected to that. Okay. And now Luka Magick is playing the Boston Celtics, which are from Massachusetts, where the Salem witch trials took place. Okay, so and again, notice that Boston equals 77. So there's your first big connection. Yeah, someone's already talking about the door knock thing. I'm already all over that. That's already in this decode. The door knock thing is coming later, but that's the big part of this decode is the horse race. Okay, but anyway. Luka Magick, right now the NBA Finals is Luka Magick, number 77, versus Boston, where the witch hunt trials in Massachusetts, okay? Now, let me just lay a bit of groundwork here. How is Donald Trump also connected? He's calling this a witch hunt against him, and why would he be doing that? Well, look at this, guys. Donald Trump, and most of you probably already know this, a lot of you probably already know this, but Donald Trump is a 3 out of 4 cipher match to witchcraft. Okay, Donald Trump, 48, witchcraft 48, 159, 159, 60, 60. 3 cipher match. Not only that, but if you add his middle initial in there, Donald J. Trump, it equals witch burning. Okay, this is connected to the witch trials, okay, where they burn witches. So witch burning equals Donald J. Trump. Okay, so Donald Trump equals witchcraft, and Donald J. Trump equals witch burning. Okay, and again, he is part of the leader of the MAGA movement, which reminds you of the word magic, MAGA, magus, magic, ritual, magic. And the hierarchy of the Church of Satan is witch and warlock, priestess and priest, magister, and the final degree is MAGA. Okay, so this is all referencing. You have the witch and the warlock, and then you have the MAGA, which references magic, right? And again, I just thought this was interesting. This says "Make America Satanic Again," but yeah, it's "Make America Great Again," MAGA, which is most of you guys already know this, the 5th degree. Okay, and it's not a coincidence that Donald Trump equals witchcraft, and he's calling this trial a witch hunt. Okay, and at the same time that he gets convicted, the Boston, where the Salem witch hunt trials in Massachusetts versus Luka Magick. Okay. Now, remember, this is something I just wanted to bring up for those new to gematria. This is a really simple one to show your friends and family about how gematria is very relevant, right? Notice that in gematria, the word broom and witch are 4 cipher match across the board. Okay. And again, we're talking about the witch hunt, the witch trials. Okay. And witches are associated with brooms. So witch and broom, 4 cipher match. Okay. And this is about to blow your guys' mind. So please, if there's one slide you guys want to share from this decode, you don't even need gematria to see how just absolutely insane this is. Okay. So I told you the first game between the Celtics, and remember, Boston, Massachusetts is where the witch hunt trials took place. Okay. Mass, like a high mass, Massachusetts, mass, okay? Versus the Mavericks, Luka Magic. This was on this game. The first game of the NBA Finals this year was on 6/6/24, which is 666. Because if you add the 2 plus 4, you get 666. Okay. What if I told you witchcraft equals 666? But that's not it, guys. What if I told you on 6606, kind of like 666, exactly 216 months before the first game of this year's finals, was the famous Church of Satan High Mass. Look at this. The 6606 High Mass of the Church of Satan was exactly 216 months before 6624, which is also 666. And this, okay, was a high mass, as in Massachusetts. And who was in this game? The Massachusetts team from Boston. And why is this important, guys? Because 216 months is 6 times 6 times 6. Do you guys understand what I'm showing you right now? And look at this. What if you type in the June 6, 2006 high mass in satanic gematria? You get 666. Do you understand that? What in the world? It's literally the June 6, 2006 Satanic Church High Mass. You type that into satanic gematria, it equals 666 and took place 216 months before the game between the Celtics and Mavericks on 666. And 216 is 6 times 6 times 6. And it was exactly 18 years. 18 is 6 plus 6 plus 6. And witchcraft equals 666. And in this game, you have Luka Magick and you have the team from Massachusetts where the witch hunts were at, okay? You guys understand? This is like absolutely insane. So this whole thing with Trump and this thing with Hunter Biden right now, this is all connected to this ritual high mass magic, okay? This witchcraft, right? And that is just absolutely mind-blowing to me. Like this is a slide I'm going to post. I should be posting this all over Twitter, all over everything, because this is so undeniable. Okay. With that being said, let's talk about the guy who's the star player of the Celtics. Again, where Massachusetts, where the witch trials were. And look at the symbol for the Celtics. He's got the one eye open. But notice it's on the hidden side of his face. The side is kind of hidden, right? Like hidden occult, right? Look at how the ball is twirling on his finger, kind of like a magical thing. And look at his staff, guys, like a wizard or a witch. They carry a staff. This whole thing is about magic, guys. Okay? His hat reminds me of magic. The way he's holding his eyes, the way the ball's spinning on his one finger, like a magician, and he's got the staff. He's even got the hangman pose. You see the hangman pose there? If you flip that upside down. So this is the Boston symbol. And the star player for Boston is Jason Tatum, who's born on 3/3, like 33. In gematria, magic equals 33. He's the star of the NBA Finals, which equals 33. And he plays for Massachusetts, which equals 33. And that's, again, where the witch trials were. And his name is Jason Tatum, which equals 33. And his birthday was 3 months and 3 days before this ritual I just showed you, the 666 day, this game that was 216 months after the 666 high mass. This guy's birthday was 3 months and 3 days before the 666 game, and magic equals 33. Jason Tatum, Massachusetts, NBA Finals, all equal 33, okay? And again, magic, guys. Magic, 33. Now, what if I told you a few days after that game happened, you had the Belmont Stakes. And the horse that won was called Door Knock, as in something is knocking at the door, guys. Ritual, ritual, ritual. Door Knock. Shocks the Belmont Stakes field with a win at 17-1 odds. Door Knock is a 3-year-old colt who has raced from 23 to 24. He was sired by a horse called Good Magic. So this horse, I just showed you all the connections to Magic and this NBA game. And 3 days later, the horse called Dornoch, whose father was called Good Magick, wins the Belmont Stakes. And Dornoch is a city in Scotland. Trump, Dornoch, first of all, Dornoch equals 77. Trump was found guilty when Luka Magic, number 77, was leading his team to the finals. Guilty verdict equals 77, Dornoch 77. So my research could have helped to predict the winner of this race, and I wasn't even looking at this race, okay? But Dornoch equals 77, okay? Dornoch is a town, seaside resort parish, and former royal borough in this county of Sutherland, Highlands of Scotland. Now look at what this says, guys. Dornoch, it is also notable as the last place a witch was burnt in Scotland. Her name was reported as Janet Horne. She was tried and condemned to death in 1727. There is a stone, the witch's stone, commemorating her death, inscribed with the year 1722. And why in the world do they go from talking about, this is the Wikipedia for Dornoch, Scotland, and why in the world do they go from talking about a witch being burnt and then all of a sudden randomly transition to a golf course designer named Donald Ross? Do you guys understand what I'm showing you? Why on the Wikipedia do they transition from talking about a witch burn to a random golf course designed by Donald Ross? Do you guys see how they just go from the stone commemorating her death, and then they just randomly say the golf course designer Donald Ross began his career as a greenkeeper? Like, why? Why Donald Ross? Well, I just connected all this to Donald Trump, and Donald Trump is an avid golfer, and now you have a golf course designer who's named Donald Ross, who's right after the witch, the burning witch. Do you guys understand this? The horse that wins the Belmont was the son of a horse called Good Magic, and the city the horse is named after is notable for the last place a witch was burnt in Scotland. And then they'd start talking about Donald Ross, okay? And how does this connect with Donald Trump? Well, Donald Trump has a golf course in Scotland. Donald Trump has a golf course in Scotland. The Trump International Golf Links, Scotland, is a golf course in Balmedia, Aberdeenshire, Scotland, owned by Donald Trump. Okay? And so, I mean, you have this horse winning, right? And then it leads you to this city in Scotland, and then it's talking about a witch, and then it's talking about a golf course owned by Donald. And then Donald Trump is an avid golfer who owns a golf course in Scotland. And his mother, Donald Trump's mother, is Scottish. I've already talked about this, okay? Trump International Scotland, okay? Now, it's going to continue to get better, guys, because I already did a whole decode on this event coming up on June 15th, one day after Trump's birthday. It's in Scotland, okay? And it's featuring Drew McIntyre, who's the chosen one, like Donald Trump said he was the chosen one, okay? So this horse, Dornoch, wins, and he's connected to Scotland, right? Trump is connected to Scotland because his heritage, and he owns a golf course there. And now, one day after Trump's birthday this year, there's going to be a WWE event in Scotland, which doesn't happen often. Okay? They don't have WWE events in Scotland. This is the first one that I'm aware of. And this guy was born on June 6th. Do you see the guy on the front of the cover? He's born on June 6th. What did I just tell you a few slides ago was important about the date June 6th? Do you remember that June 6th this year was the first game of the Celtics and Mavericks, and it was the 666, and it was 216 months after the 666 high mass, and high mass June 6, 2006 equals 666, like witchcraft? Remember? So this guy's birthday, this Scottish wrestler, right here, he's born, McIntyre, he's born on 6/6. So his birthday was the day that all this stuff was going down with this ritual, with this 666. Okay? And he's connected to Donald Trump. Go watch my decode about him and Donald Trump. Okay? I did a whole decode. But what are the chances of this, guys? The first game, the same day of Donald Trump's birthday this year, one day before the Scotland WWE event, the UEFA Euro League starts. And it just happens to be Germany versus Scotland. These are Trump's two heritages. Trump's father was a German immigrant. Trump's mother was a Scottish immigrant. Are you telling me that this is not rigged? One day after this, you have Scotland in WWE. And one day before, on Trump's birthday, you have Scotland versus Germany. Those are the two countries where his parents are from. Okay? And the horse that just won the Belmont Stakes was connected to Dornoch, Scotland. Okay? So absolutely just insane to me. Okay? I mean, this right here should just be like, oh my God, are you kidding me? Like on Trump's birthday, the two countries where his parents supposedly come from are playing. The first game, too. This is the very first game of the whole tournament. It's not just like in the middle of the tournament. It's the very first game. Anyways, why did Eminem release the song Houdini on May 31st, one day after Trump's found guilty? So here you go again. I've already connected it to Magick with the Celtics and the Mavericks basketball. I connected it with the Scottish WWE event. And now Eminem releases his first song in a while on May 31st called Houdini. This is Magick, right? Look at this. And in the song, the main lyric is Abracadabra, I'm about to reach in my bag for my last trick. What does that mean, guys? For my last trick, I'm about to reach in my bag, bruh. Okay? Saying that in the most rapper form voice I can have, which I don't have much of. Bruh, you know? But like one day after Trump's convicted, Houdini comes out by Eminem. Okay? So here it goes. This gets even way crazier. So the first game of the NBA Finals was on 6/6/6, again, June 6, 2024. Okay? Right now, Boston leads the series 2-0, so they won the first two games. On June 14th, it will be game 4. If the Boston Celtics were to sweep this series, which means they'd win all 4 games, it would be on Donald Trump's birthday, which is the same day as Germany and Scotland. I'm not saying that that's going to happen. I'm not saying that they're going to sweep, but it's possible, guys. Because what if they want to end this finals on Trump's birthday, which is the same day of the soccer tournament starting? But let's go back to the game 1. Game 1 was the 6/6/6 day, right? And the final score was 107-89. Okay. If you add 107 plus 89, you get 196. Well, 196, remember, I told you one day after this game, or one day after Trump was convicted, Houdini comes out from Eminem. And the main lyric is Abracadabra. Okay. Abracadabra, the magic word. You can see it here, the classic magic word, Abracadabra. I'm going to talk about Aleister Crowley in a little bit, but look at this. Abracadabra equals 196. The final score of this game, which was all connected to Magick, was 196 points. Okay? And Trump's birthday is June 14th. If you type that date out, which is the first game of the Euro League, right? It's 196. So you're telling me that the final score of this big 6/6/6 game was 196 and the magic word abracadabra equals 196 and Trump's birthday written out equals 196? Okay. So that's it. It gets even better from here. Okay. This is where it gets crazy. So if you guys don't understand this abracadabra thing, we're going to talk about Thelema, which is Aleister Crowley's religion, Thelema. He wrote the Book of the Law, which the central text of Thelema, its author Aleister Crowley described the word of an aeon, which signified the great work accomplished. This is in reference to his belief that the writing of the Liber Legis, another name for the Book of the Law, heralded a new aeon for mankind that was ruled by the god Ra-Horkut, a form of Horus. Abracadabra is therefore the supreme magical formula of his new age. Okay, so Aleister Crowley took abracadabra, okay, the original known way to say it, right, with the C, abracadabra, which I just tied here. This is the word that Eminem uses in his song, abra with the C, right? But Aleister Crowley took the abracadabra and changed the C to an H to represent Horus, because this is all about the age of Horus, right? H, which is the 8th letter. And look at this. Well, first of all, look, in the Wikipedia page, it says Crowley explains in his essay called Gematria. So how do people need any more proof that they use gematria? On the Wikipedia page for his religion, it says Crowley explained in his essay Gematria that he changed the magic word to include H because of Kabbalistic methods. Okay? So he talks about gematria. Okay? So let's just see how all this comes together, okay? Let's see. So Crowley replaced the C in abracadabra with an H, which the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn in the Nephite ritual linked to with breath and life, as well as the god Horus. Aleister Crowley had taken the place of Horus or Horus officer in the Golden Dawn's neophyte ritual, which means that he personally gave the response explaining the meaning of the letter H, okay? So again, the point here is he changed the magic word from abracadabra to abrahadabra, all right, with the H. Now, remember, this whole thing is connected to Trump, who just said that he was on a witch hunt, and Luka Magick was winning when he was being, on trial, right? And so what about this, guys? Trump turned 78 years old on June 14th, which could be the last game of the Celtics and Mavericks, okay? If the Celtics sweep, it could be the last game, okay? Trump will turn 78 years old. The magic word of Aleister Crowley is abrahadabra, which equals 78, guys. The NBA Finals equals 78. Luka Magick, 78. This is this guy here that's in the finals, Luka Magick. Stormy Daniels equals 78 in the same cipher as abrahadabra. This all happened in New York, which equals 78. And I told you the Belmont Stakes, where the horse that won was connected to the Magic in Scotland. Belmont Stake equals 78, takes place in New York, which equals 78. Stormy Daniels' case in New York. Trump turned 78 on June 14th. Abrahadabra, 78. NBA Finals could end on that day. And the NBA Finals includes a player nicknamed Luka Magick, which equals 78. Okay? And just so much here, like with this 78, this is a huge number. And again, don't forget that Trump turned 78. That's the big clue here, And just happens to be that Crowley's magic word, if you spell it the way he spelled it, equals 78. Okay? Now, this is where we're going to get into the whole thing of Aleister Crowley and the moonchild, okay? So remember, Aleister Crowley was into ceremonial magic, also known as ritual magic, high magic, or learned magic, okay? And it was popularized by the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, right? It draws on Hermetic qaballa, Enochian magic, and thelema, okay? The synonym for magic is archaic spelling of magic, used during the Renaissance, which was revived by Aleister Crowley. Okay, so this form of writing magic, Magick, is the Renaissance form of magic instead of Magic. Aleister Crowley was the one who brought that back. Okay, and now let's read down here. Aleister Crowley was associated with a guy named Jack Parsons and L. Ron Hubbard. Now, you guys might recognize L. Ron Hubbard, the founder of Scientology, okay? Jack Parsons was a rocket designer, maker, okay? I'm going to talk about them a bit in the end. But so these two guys learned from Aleister Crowley about Babylon working, okay? So let me just read this. The aim of Parsons' Babylon working was first to identify a female partner who would serve as his partner in esoteric sex rituals. The partner would then become the vessel for a magical child, also known as the moonchild, a supernatural offspring that would be embodied of ultimate power, according to Parsons' account of March 2nd, March 3rd, 1946. Do you guys know what happened in 1946? Do you guys know who was born in 1946? Isn't that the birth year? Let me see if I can find a screenshot of it. Isn't the June 14th, 1946, the birth year of Donald Trump? And in 1946, Parsons and Hubbard came together to create a moonchild in 1946. Hubbard channeled the voice of Babylon, speaking as the beautiful but terrible lady. The ultimate goal of these operations, carried out during February and March 1946, was to give birth to the magical being or moonchild described in Crowley's works. Using the powerful energy of IX degree sex magic, the rites were intended to open a doorway through which the goddess Babylon herself might appear in human form. You see this word doorway? So they wanted to create a moonchild to open a doorway through which Babylon the goddess herself might appear in human form. Do you guys remember what the name of the horse was? I told you that just won. Do you guys remember what the... See if you guys are listening. Do you guys remember what the name of the horse was that just won the Belmont Stakes? I forgot to even mention, guys, the horse wins the Belmont Stakes, kind of like witches are burnt at the stake. Do you understand this? Belmont Stakes, witches burnt at the stake. Okay. But what's the name of the horse that won the Belmont Stakes? Yeah, I see that Ched's got it. It's Door Knock. And this whole ritual in 1946 to create a moonchild was to open a doorway so that the goddess Babylon could come into human form. Door knock, doorway, open the door. I've been talking all about that symbolism. All through May, I talked about Kobe Bryant and the connection between open the door. Okay. But the whole next gematria for this is going to be about 93, and I'm going to show you why there's no doubt that this number is what this is all about. Okay, this 93. Okay, so just watch this. So Aleister Crowley's book, the Book of the Law, also known as Liber al Veg Legis, I think I'm Vel Legis in Latin, equals 93. Okay, you see up here, guys? This equals 93. This is the Latin for the Book of the Law, right? Equals 93. Okay. Now, Thelema is the religion that this book is connected to. Okay. Let me just read this. The Greek Thelema is what Aleister Crowley chose to be the name of his religion. And if you take the Greek, and the reason that Aleister Crowley decided this is because of the gematria. I told you a few slides back that Aleister Crowley specifically chose words because of gematria. He used Greek gematria, Greek isosophy, one of the original gematria, one of the old gematrias, to come up with the word Thelema. In Greek, the word Thelema equals 93. So this is so deep, guys. Thelema equals 93 in Greek, right here. This is the Greek translation of Aleister Crowley's Thelema, okay? And look at the number in Roman numerals on the front of his book. Do you guys know what that is? Oh, that's the number 93, XCIII. That's the number 93. So you're meaning to tell me that his book in English gematria, reverse, equals 93. The name of his religion, Thelema, which he chose specifically to get 93 in Greek, equals 93 in Greek. And on the very front of his book is the Roman numeral for 93. So this is undeniable. This is undeniable. Can anyone tell me that this is not the number? Okay. No one. No one should be able to do that. It's on the front of his book. It's encoded in the name of his religion. It's even encoded in the Latin of gematria in English, 93. Now, I just told you this is all connected to right now, everything happening right now. Because remember, this whole ritual back in 1946 when Trump was born was about creating a moonchild to give birth to a magical being or moonchild. Remember, this is called the magic word, abracadabra, right? The magic word. If you just type that in English, just standard English, it equals 93, just like his whole book has the 93 on it, okay? And this is his number, 93. Just go look up 93 and its connections to Thelema. It's an important number to this whole religion. Okay. But what are the chances that magic word, moonchild, and Luka Doncic equals 93 all in the same cipher? Remember, Luka Doncic is where I started this whole decode off. He plays for the current Mavericks team, who's in the finals, and his nickname is Luka Magic, but his real name, Luka Doncic, equals magic word, moonchild. And it just happens to equal the 93, which is the number of Thelema. Okay, so you cannot tell me that this is all about the Thelema. This is all about Aleister Crowley and the ritual magic, because it's all connected to Donald Trump, who I'm going to show you why I believe Donald Trump was this moonchild. Not only did they come together to do these rituals in 1946, the same year he was born, but I'm going to show you why I'm pretty much why I believe that's Trump. Okay. So why is Luka Doncic connected to Trump? Because it's got the Don in his name, right? And he won the same day Trump was getting found guilty. Okay. He won and took his team to the finals, right? And he's named Luka Magic. So this all comes together with the 93. So we're going to keep bringing this together. Okay. And what if I told you, I just set up all the 93s for you and how it's connected to Trump being the moonchild of Jack Parsons and L. Ron Hubbard. So let's just look at this. Look at this letter from June 14th. June 14th. Let me repeat that. June 14th, 1946, Donald Trump's birthday, his actual birthday, which was a blood moon. Okay? A blood moon. And look at this letter written on Donald Trump's birthday, Aleister Crowley to Grady McMurray. He says, "Oh, curse these people who have no ideas of their own and cannot do anything but pick up my ideas and try to put them into operation without in the least understanding them or knowing how to bring them to success. Apparently, he and Ron," which is referring to L. Ron Hubbard, this guy, "are producing a moonchild." This was written by Aleister Crowley on Trump's actual date of birth on a blood moon. And it says at the very end, apparently he and Ron Hubbard, is producing a moonchild on Trump's birthday. On Trump's actual birthday, guys. Can I get a thumbs up in the chat if you guys are understanding the magnitude of this? Okay. I mean, and let me just bring all this together, because this was already found by other people, and I want to give everyone else. There's a channel, Angel White on YouTube, who's covered this Donald Trump moonchild thing. But this is something that I don't think anyone else has ever found. Okay. And I think this proves Donald Trump is possibly the moonchild. Well, first of all, what more proof do you really need other than the fact that this letter apparently occurred on Donald Trump's birthday? All right. And don't forget, guys, in gematria, it might tell the whole story. Look at this. In the same cipher, moonchild, Donald Trump, sorceries, witchcraft, magic word, all equal 48. So you're telling me that Trump equals moonchild? Trump equals moonchild, and then on his birthday, there's a letter written about a moonchild being created by Ron Hubbard? And what in the world? If you go from L. Ron Hubbard's birthday to Donald Trump's birthday every year, it's 93 days. Moonchild, 93. The guy who supposedly was creating a moonchild on Trump's birth in 1946 on the blood moon is born 93 days before Trump. Moonchild, 93. And I just told you the whole number of Aleister Crowley is 93, guys. Moonchild, 93. Luka Doncic, magic word, 93. The Roman numerals on the front of his book is 93. The book of the law in Latin equals 93. Thelema in Greek, 93. Donald Trump is born 93 days after L. Ron Hubbard, who was supposedly creating the moonchild, which equals 93, on Trump's birthday. And the gematria equals moonchild equals Donald Trump right here, 48. And it equals witchcraft in the same cipher, and the magic word, and sorceries, all in the same cipher. It's just it's impossible that this is not what this is about. And I just don't, I just can't believe it. And there's even more, guys. There's even more. So now we need to talk about the English Qaballa Gematria cipher. This cipher was found by James Lees, but this was founded from the Aleister Crowley manuscript, okay? So the mysterious grid page of Liber Al's manuscript for in the chance shape of the letters and their positions to one another in each of these mysteries that no beast shall divine. Then this line drawn in a key, then this circle squared in its failure is a key also. So basically what that means, guys, is Aleister Crowley coded his page on the Book of the Law, and he coded it for a gematria cipher, which was discovered apparently by a guy named James Lees. And James Lees found it is called the English Qaballa cipher. Now, if you guys look on your Gematrinator calculator, you're going to see this cipher if you have the paid-for subscription. You're going to see the English Qaballa cipher. This is the Aleister Crowley cipher, okay? And again, Aleister Crowley mentioned gematria. He even wrote a letter called Gematria. So it's clear he used gematria, and he encoded a gematria cipher in his work that was found by James Lees, okay? And this all stems from Qaballa, right? Qaballa, the tree of life, the key of Solomon, all that stuff. I'm not going to get deep into that here, but anyway, it's known as the English Qaballa or EQ cipher, okay? In 1904, Aleister Crowley wrote out the text for the foundational document of his worldview known as Liber Al Vel Legis, the Book of the Law. In this text was the injunction found at verse 255, "Thou shalt obtain and value the English alphabet. Thou shalt find new symbols to attribute them unto, which was understood by Crowley as referring to an English Qaballa yet to be developed or revealed." Okay, so again, James Lees apparently discovered this in his text. Okay, so this is big, guys. Now, what if I told you the same day? Okay, remember, Trump's birthday is June 14th. And big shout out to my buddy Casey in the chat for pointing this out the other day. And this is so huge, guys. I want you guys to understand the magnitude of this. On June 14th, 2024, will be the first day of Hajj. Hajj is when the people in Mecca come to walk around the cube. Aleister Crowley had an obsession with the circle and the square. Well, a cube is kind of a square, right? He even wrote it here. He said in his text, "Then this line drawn is a key. Then this circle squared in its failure is a key also." Okay, so look at this. Remember, I just revealed to you the EQ cipher right here, this English Qaballa cipher founded inside of Crowley's work. Okay, now look at this. Here is the English Qaballa cipher. Remember, I told you Donald Trump, the moonchild, was born on 6/14/1946, the same year that this letter was written about the moonchild. This year on 6/14, Trump's 78th birthday, like Abracadabra equals 78, will be the first day of Hajj, and it will go from June 14th to June 19th, which is my birthday, by the way, June 19th. But what if I told you that in the English Qaballa cipher, the one I just revealed to you here, Aleister Crowley, right? House of Allah equals 93. Kaaba in the Fibonacci. Okay, so how is this all connected, guys? I just revealed to you all about the number 93 in Aleister Crowley's Thelema, okay? Then I revealed to you the 93 in the moonchild of Donald Trump, right? Now, I'm revealing to you that on Donald Trump's birthday, they're doing this year. This doesn't happen every year. This doesn't happen every year. It happens this year on Donald Trump's birthday, okay? And it happens to be that they walk around the Kaaba. So I want you guys to think of this. They walk around the Kaaba, and it's known as the house of Allah. So combine those two words. What do you get? Kaaba, Allah. Oh, what's that mean? Qaballa. I don't know if anyone else ever got this before, but did anyone else ever realize that the Kaaba, the cube, and then the God Allah, if you combine them, is Qaballa? Let me know in the chat if you guys have ever noticed that. But they're literally telling you Qaballa inside of the word Kaaba and Allah, okay? But anyway, what are the chances that moonchild equals 93? That was the moonchild was what Aleister Crowley wrote about, right? And Kaaba in Fibonacci equals 93, guys, like Saturn. The cube of Saturn, guys. This is all about Saturn. Because why? Why 93? Why did Aleister Crowley encode 93 in his book? Because Saturn equals 93, guys. And Saturn is the Kaaba, which is this cube that they walk in circles around. And Aleister Crowley said that you cannot make a square into a circle, right? So his whole point was, why do you think these people walk in a circle around the cube? Because it's supposed to represent that the circle will always be bigger than the cube, essentially, because the cube is rigid. It's you know what I mean by a cube? It's rigid. And it's a circle is flowing, right? So they flow around in a circle around a rigid squared cube. Okay? And this is to represent what Aleister Crowley talks about as the circle squared in its failure. So Aleister Crowley basically saying you cannot turn the circle into a square. You cannot truly make a circle into a square. And that's why they walk around the cube in a circle. And again, Kaaba equals 93 like Saturn. We know the Saturn is connected to the cube, right? Moonchild equals 93. Now, in the English Qaballa cipher, House of Allah, and this is what the Kaaba means. Hajj is a pilgrimage made to the Kaaba, which means House of Allah. So House of Allah equals 93 in the English Qaballa cipher. Like the Kaaba equals 93, like Saturn, and Saturn is the god of time, and in the English Qaballa cipher, time equals 93. Okay? This represents basically time, right? Saturn, time. This is all connected perfectly to this Aleister Crowley magic ritual. And what are the chances, guys, that this starts on Trump's birthday? His 78th birthday, okay? Trump, it's just insane because all this stuff is going on, and then they just happen to plan. Remember, this is the same day that the soccer game is happening. But let's just look at this real fast. In the essay called Gematria by Aleister Crowley, gives Hindu, Christian, and unisectarian versions of the problem that Crowley intended this magic word to answer. He also gives a Kabbalistic equivalent for each phrasing and a brief symbolic answer for each. The unisectarian version reads, I am the finite square. I wish to be one with the infinite circle. Again, Aleister Crowley wrote this in his essay called Gematria, guys, Gematria. And he wrote, I am the finite square. I wish to be one with the infinite circle. This is what this is. The infinite circle of people that are walking around the cube, which is a square, okay? I am the finite cube. I wish to be one with the infinite circle. All these people that walk around this square in a circle are representing this. And you guys wonder why I always talk about wrestling. Yes, House of Allah does equal 201 as well. I didn't put that in here because it's not what I was talking about, but it does equal 201. This all connects back to the Jesuits, guys. I'm not mentioning them here, but of course it connects to them. But look at this. I always talk about wrestling, guys. Wrestling, WWE. Okay? Why is the wrestling ring called a squared circle? Do you guys see this? The squared circle, they call it. It's a ring, which is circular, but it's a square, right? So this is the same concept. And why was WWE's last pay-per-view before Trump, the last pay-per-view before Trump was convicted, was in Saudi Arabia, where this cube is? Do you guys understand this? On May 25th this year, 5 days before Trump was convicted, WWE had a match in a squared circle in Mecca, in Saudi Arabia, in Jeddah, okay? And look at this. The squared circle equals 93. This is what they call a wrestling ring, okay? And the squared circle derives from how the combative exhibitions would often be held in a roughly drawn circle on the ground, okay? But again, they made this into a square, okay? So, Donald Trump's birthday is the beginning of Hajj. The last WWE event was in Saudi Arabia, where the cube is. Saudi Arabia's deal with the USA for selling oil in US dollars just expired on yesterday on 6/9, which is also a Saturn number. Did you guys know this? The deal between the United States and Saudi Arabia to sell their oil in US dollars, okay, expired on 6/9, 2 days ago. In Gematria, Saturn equals 69, okay? And again, this cube is connected to Saturn in Saudi Arabia. And in the NHL finals, in the NHL championship, the Hockey League championship right now, it's the Florida Panthers versus the Edmonton Oilers, guys, the Oilers, okay? I'm not going to get into that right now, but there's a huge connection right now with Saudi Arabia and oil, okay? Now, I told you one day after Hajj starts, where they walk around the cube, which is connected to Saturn, which is 93, in Scotland, which is how I started this whole decode, there's a Clash at the Castle event right here on June 15th, one day after Trump's birthday in Scotland, okay? There was only one other Clash at the Castle, okay? Back on 9/3, do you guys understand what I'm showing you here? On 9/3/2022, exactly 93 weeks before this Clash at the Castle coming up, was the first Clash at the Castle. So on 9/3, which is the 93 I'm talking about, 93 weeks exactly, no extra days, is the next Clash at the Castle. And that comes one day after this event starts, where they walk around the cube, the Kaaba, which equals 93, like Saturn, like Trump is the moonchild, apparently. Okay? Like House of Allah, which is what the Kaaba means, equals 93 in the Aleister Crowley Qaballa cipher. Okay, but anyways, one day after that is this, and it's all connected to 93 because look, it's called Clash at the Castle. The castle equals 93. King Charles, his official title is Charles III, which equals 93. So that does mean that Charles III equals moonchild in the same cipher and equals Saturn in the same cipher, okay? This event happened 5 days before he became king. The first Clash at the Castle. 93 weeks later, he's the king. And oh, I forgot to mention, guys, June 15th, the day of this event, is the day that they're celebrating King Charles' birthday, his royal birthday, not his real birthday, but his royal birthday, okay? So this is all connected to King Charles, who has the 93. And there's a reason why he has the 93. Okay? Now, we're going to circle all the way back around because we're talking about the moonchild, which equals 93. Remember, one day after Trump was convicted, Eminem came out with the song Houdini. Well, what if I told you that Aleister Crowley wrote the book Moonchild in 1917? And it was a plot involving magical war between a group of white magicians and black magicians over an unborn child. So in 1917, the year JFK was born, remember Trump was synced with JFK because Trump was being on trial on JFK's birthday. And in 1917, when JFK was born, Aleister Crowley wrote The Moonchild. And look at this. In this work, The Moonchild, numerous acquaintances of Crowley appear as thinly disguised fictional characters. Crowley portrays McGregor Mathers as the primary villain. So who is McGregor Mathers? Well, McGregor Mathers is Samuel Liddell McGregor Mathers, who was a British occultist and member of the SRIA. He is primarily known as one of the founders of the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, a ceremonial magic order of which offshoots still exist. He became synonymous with the Order of the Golden Dawn scholar Israel Regardie, observed in the retrospect the Golden Dawn. Okay, so Aleister Crowley was inspired by this guy who was the original founders of the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, which was a ceremonial magic order, okay? And his name is Mathers. MM. Do you see this? Moonchild, Mathers, MM. And what is the name of the guy who released his album called Houdini one day after Trump's conviction? It's Eminem, like McGregor Mathers. But what's even more important, guys, is Eminem's real name is Marshall Mathers. This is a mic drop moment. One day after Trump's conviction, Marshall Mathers releases Houdini, and Aleister Crowley wrote a Moonchild book about making the main villain McGregor Mathers, MM, kind of like Eminem is Marshall Mathers. You guys understand this? This is insane. Like, a lot of you already knew this, but just put it together. It's about the Eminem, right? MM is Marshall Mathers or McGregor Mathers, okay? And everything, you know, again, Trump, the Moonchild, one day after his conviction, you got Marshall Mathers, okay? And I wish I could play this video for you guys, but go check out Eminem's rebuttal to Trump's storm statement on October 6th, 2017. Go watch that video of Eminem talking to Trump and tell me it's not connected with right now. Go look for that. Go look for that video and watch it. I promise you it's worth the watch. He's dissing Trump one day. Eminem is one day after Trump's storm statement, and then one day after, do you guys get this? One day after Trump's storm statement, Eminem comes out and is dissing Trump, and then one day after Trump's conviction, Eminem is coming out and releasing an album, okay, called Houdini, Magick. But this is where it gets crazy too, guys, because again, Eminem releases his Houdini song one day after Trump. Again, in the song, Eminem mentioned the main chorus starts with Abracadabra, which I told you is Aleister Crowley's magic word, okay? Now look at this. Abracadabra equals 196, right? Now the name of the guy who Aleister Crowley put in his Moonchild book, his real name is Samuel Mathers, okay? He was born Samuel Mathers, okay? So look at this. This guy right here, the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn ceremonial magician, Samuel Mathers equals 196. Eminem, who's got the same last name as him, releases a song with Abracadabra, which equals 196. Trump's birthday is June 14th, which equals 196. Okay? In the same cipher as Samuel Mathers. But here's where it gets crazy. Look at the distance between the death of Samuel Mathers, which equals 196, and the birth of Marshall Mathers, otherwise known as Eminem. It's 196.91. So what you guys are looking at there is a palindrome of forwards and backwards of the number 196. You guys see this? 196 forward, 196 backwards, a palindrome. And Samuel Mathers equals 196 from his birth. 196 forward and backwards later, this guy was born. And in this new song, Eminem uses the word abracadabra, which equals 196. And how many points were scored on 6-6 this year in the first game of the NBA Finals with Luka Magick and the Boston Celtics, where the witch trials were, there was 196 points, guys. Okay? So from Mathers to Mathers is the 196, Abracadabra 196. Okay? And look at this. This is so weird, guys. Samuel Mathers has 2 death dates. The 5th of November and the 20th of November. Why in God's name and how on earth would you ever have, why would you say the 5th and 20th? How did it even come to this? He died on the 5th or the 20th of November? It doesn't make any sense. But what I went from was the last date they gave us, which was the 20th of November, 1918, 196, 91 days, which is 196 forwards and backwards. You land on this guy's birthday, which has the same name as him, Marshall Mathers. Okay. So why I just don't understand. This is rigged, obviously, because look, he has 2 birthdays, January 11th and 8th, 1854, and 2 death dates, which is probably connected to Mercury and the twins, Gemini, probably. Probably connected to some sort of twin symbolism, like 2 dates, 2 birth dates, 2 death dates. But yeah, so I just thought that was interesting. And one last thing I want to add here, just to show you everything that's going on right now is connected to Magick. Right now, one of the songs trending in Germany, and I know this because I'm in Germany, is a song called Barbara's Rhubarb Bar. And it's like a rap, like Eminem is a rapper also. And look at these white folks. This white guy's a rapper, and this guy. And the famous line in this song starts when they go abracadabra. You guys understand this? So not only is this being proliferated by the rapper Eminem, Abracadabra, but in Germany, where Trump's heritage is from, you have this song trending. Everyone's dancing to it. And it's called Barbara's Rhubarb Bar, and it literally has abracadabra in it. Okay? So just more connections, not even all in the United States. It's also in Germany. Okay? And that's all I got in slides. But let's again, for those of you who missed this, let's go back. The moonchild, the letter written on Trump's birthday by Aleister Crowley on Trump's blood moon birthday about how L. Ron Hubbard was creating a moonchild, which equals 93. L. Ron Hubbard is born 93 days before Trump. And this was on Trump's actual birthday, okay? Moonchild equals Donald Trump equals sorceries equals witchcraft equals magic word, all in the same cipher, okay? And again, the 93 is all about Saturn and the Thelema, okay? I talked about that. Go back and watch. Aleister Crowley's moonchild. Donald Trump, right? He's about to turn 78. The word abracadabra, which is the Aleister Crowley's form of the magic word, equals 78. NBA Finals, Luka Magick, Stormy Daniels, New York, all equals 78. But it's all connected, right? With the 78. The 196 was huge because of the abracadabra, and the first game of the finals had 196 total points. Oh, and don't forget, guys, the first game of the soccer league is Germany versus Scotland, which is where Trump's parents are from, supposedly. And again, I just told you that Germany has a song with the abracadabra in it, and then Scotland is connected to the witch, which I showed you in the beginning. One day after Trump's birthday, you have this event in Scotland. Trump has a golf course in Scotland, and the horse that won the Belmont Stakes is called Dornoch, which is in Scotland, and he was the son of Good Magick. And Dornoch, Scotland, is where is notable as the last place a witch was burnt in Scotland, kind of like Belmont Stakes. The witches are burnt at the stakes, okay? And then it goes on to talk about the witch's stone, and right after it talks about the witch's stone, it talks about a golf course designer named Donald Ross. Let me just show you this Donald Ross connection here. So it says this golf course designer, Donald Ross, began his career as a greenkeeper. So let's see what Donald Ross equals. Donald Ross. Donald Ross equals Revelation and Antichrist. So let me see. Revelation, Antichrist. So you see that? So that's the name of the golf owner that supposedly owns a golf course that they just had to talk about. They just had to talk about this guy right after they talk about the witch. They just had to put it in that order. Okay, so not a coincidence. Anyway, let me go to the chat. I know a lot of you guys have been saying so many stuff. Yeah, I already see so many good comments in the chat. Thank you guys so much. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to ignore you. But let me bring up the comments for everyone to see here. So first of all, yes, the song. Okay, so let me just go through these comments. The first comment I see that I want to put up here is Spirit Miracle says there are 78 tarot cards in the tarot deck. Remember, Aleister Crowley created his own Thoth tarot deck. And again, the Abracadabra or Abracadabra equals 78. Okay, so that's a good point. Big number also, 78. Let's see. Yeah, Steve Miller Band. So this is another point that I didn't put in the decode. But Steve Miller Band was the original band that did the Abracadabras or the who, what was it? What song was that again? I can't remember what the name of the song was. Abracadabra. Yeah, I think Steve Miller Band did a song called Abracadabra. Okay, so there's also a connection there, but I can't find a date for that song release, so that's why I didn't put it in here. I can't measure, but I need to look more into that. The incompletist says squaring the circle equals the golden ratio. Yep, that's a good point. Let's see. There's so many good comments in here. I'm trying to find. Crypto Kabooch says there are probably many Eminems, so no one really knows who the real Slim Shady is. Yeah, that's probably true. I didn't even look into his nickname, Slim Shady. I see that the Illusion is in the chat. Make sure you guys go subscribe to the Illusion right here, and also Joseph Aquaviva 2222. So these two guys right here. Much love to both of them. Yeah, and the Eminem could stand for Master Mason, right? Good point. Because Freemasonry is also tied to this. Okay. Wait, Gene Spliced, are you saying that the release date of Abracadabra by Steve Miller Band was June 15, 1982? I couldn't find that. But if that's true, then oh my goodness. Let me just put this here. Okay, yeah, I see that Sean, brother Sean's in the chat. Are you able to get on here for a little bit, Sean? Or are you busy? I don't know how to click the link though. That's the bad thing, is I can't click the link from my computer. Hold on a second. But anyway, I want to talk about this. Gene Splice says that the release date of Abracadabra by Steve Miller Band was June 15, 1982. If that's true, that's insane, because I just made a connection to that date, guys. I need to go back and look that up, but give me a second, okay? I'm trying to get through all your comments, guys. Dornoch Cathedral equals 77 and 201. Burned in 1570. Okay, that's interesting. If you guys want to click the link, this link here will take you to the letter written by Aleister Crowley to Grady McMurdy on Donald Trump's birthday, 1946, about the moonchild. The other trending song by Eminem is called The Death of Slim Shady. Okay, well, that's something to look into. Okay, people are saying the Abracadabra song album released June 15th. Wow. Wow, do you guys understand how big that is? I just talked about how June 15th is the day after Trump's birthday this year, and it's the Scotland event in WWE, okay? That's insane. I don't know where you guys are finding that, but I need to also find that. 78 is the 56 composite number. There are 56 minor arcana in tarot. Well, that's amazing connection, Zena. Thank you. Wow. I mean, we know how big the 56 is. Let's see. Let's see. Trump in Las Vegas said he wished he knew the magic word. I'll have to go back and look at that. And I didn't have time to look into anything like that, but Gene Splice says it played on air in May. The release album was June 15th. Okay, yeah, I need to go look back on that and find that. But thank you guys for revealing that again. Dirk says Steve Miller Band Abracadabra June 15th, 1982 confirmed. And I have record it's true. Okay, well then I hope you guys understand the gravity of that about what I already just showed you. Kobe and LeBron have both won NBA Finals in Orlando Magic Stadium. Well, that's thanks Illusion for that. I mean, that, of course, we know the NBA has made reference many times to Black Magic. Like when LeBron James broke the scoring record, Jay-Z was wearing the shirt, "This is Black Magic." Remember that? So yeah, absolutely. Casey Jones, my brother Casey Jones, he says Mercury is a perfect match to sorcery, and Mercury equals 1917. Yeah, I didn't have a chance to put Mercury in here, guys, but Mercury is the trickster god. So that works perfectly with the magic, right? Mercury, magic. I have to look more into that too. But thank you, Casey, for Church of Scotland equals 666. Casey May says in Latin. Astral Payne says Cody, one of Trump's cabinet choices, is a representative named Steve Miller. What? Wow. I need to look at that too. Steve Miller Band wrote Abracadabra. Spirit Miracle says my last name is Baum, like Scheinbaum, who just won. Address 121, area code 661. Wow. The gematria of my first middle initial and last name is 121. Wow. That's pretty crazy, man. Wow. I just talked about that 121. And guess when Aleister Crowley died, guys? You guys know when Aleister Crowley died? See if anyone in the chat can put that date so I can share it. Cheds1 says, look into Immaculate Conception and esoteric works. Mugshot of Donald Trump equals 248. Bacon Simple, 8/24/2023 mugshot of Donald Trump equals 418 in modern K. Abracadabra. Yeah, wow. I didn't even talk about the 418, but that's a whole nother number that I need to talk about. But that's an amazing connection. Wow. Yeah, the 418 is also Aleister Crowley's number. Zenith of the Alphas made a whole video. Guys, make sure you go check out Zenith of the Alphas video on that. He's talked about that before. Kamala Harris says there's also a football match on Trump's port. Yeah, Kamala Harris, I already talked about that. I already talked about June 14th and Trump's birthday being the beginning of the Euro League, the Euro Championship or whatever, and also the beginning of Hajj, where the people walk around in a circle around the cube, right? Which I connected to the number 93. Yeah, Sojourn 137, MAGA, Magic. Yeah, I already connected that also in the beginning, but thank you. Thank you for that also. The Illusion, Brother Illusion. Also, to add to your 196s, Michael Jordan was drafted in 1984 on 19/6. On my birthday. Really? The real King James birthday. This all comes back to King James, guys. It really does. I made a whole decode about King James and Francis Bacon, but it does tie back to that. Absolutely. And wow, I didn't know that Michael Jordan was drafted on 19/6, my birthday. And that's the real King James birthday. And that's when LeBron won the championship on Father-Daughter Day. So yeah, huge thing there. Thank you, brother. Sean's still in the chat. Harry Houdini, 88. Magic Square Mercury, 8x8. Yeah. I need to look more into Harry Houdini. Let me show you guys something real fast. Hold on. So do you guys notice how Harry Houdini equals 78. And 66. Remember how the Dallas Mavericks and the Boston Celtics had that 666 ritual on 666? Let me show you that. This is the one of the biggest slides in here. But remember, the Dallas Mavericks, the Boston Celtics played on 6/6/24, which is 666, exactly 216 months after the high mass in the Church of Satan on 6/6/2006. Witchcraft equals 666. If you go from, again, 216 months exactly from the high mass on 666 to the first game of the NBA Finals this year. And look at this. If you type in high mass June 6, 2006, it equals 666 in Satanic. Okay? But anyway, back to Houdini. Remember, Eminem released his album Houdini, right? Harry Houdini equals 66, like the date of the game. Okay. And but the 78 is also important. Remember, the magic word, abracadabra, equals 78. Donald Trump turns 78 years old, right? But also the 150. Let me just show you how this 150 is involved. Okay. Harry Houdini equals 150. The Dallas Mavericks with Luka Magick are in the NBA Finals. Dallas Mavericks equals 150. Okay. If you type in the word magic word, it equals 150. Okay. You type in moonchild, it equals 150. Let me just bring all these up here. Hold on. So 150 is another big number connected to this because, again, you got Houdini being released. Harry Houdini equals 50, like Dallas Mavericks. Remember, they have the Luka Magic is playing for the Mavericks, right? The magic word equals 150, like moonchild. And I told you this was connected with the moonchild and the magic word. But the 150 is big here. A few more I can think that equals 150. Illuminati equals 150 in the same cipher as moonchild. Okay, and remember, Trump is connected to Bavaria, where the Illuminati was founded, right? Also, Queen Elizabeth, which also connects to this because Queen Elizabeth and King Charles. Notice that Queen Elizabeth equals 150, right? So like a child, like King Charles, right? Okay, guys, hold on. Let me bring up, trying to make sure I get through everyone's comments. Hold on. Somebody's saying there's a bot in the chat. I don't know who that is, but if one of my moderators sees the bot in the chat, let's see. So I want to bring up this comment. This is Zenith of the Alpha. Go check out his video on Crowley and the number 418. Okay, he put the link in the chat. So just click this link if you guys want to check that out. Spirit Miracle says, in the new movie Civil War, they show the address of 914 backwards 419, Lincoln's funeral day. In police code 419 is dead body found. Okay, something interesting. Thank you. Once again, thanks to Brother Illusion for pointing that out. Let's see. Helena Hutchins, shot by Baldwin, who played Trump. HH 88. Yep. There's a huge 88 connection here also. Astral Pains is talking about Abraxas. I need to look more into that, but I see what you're saying with this Abraxas thing. I definitely need to look more into that and how it connects. Let's see. So many comments. Thank you guys so much. I can't even keep up almost. Man, I'm so far behind. Yeah, I don't think I don't know if there's a bot in the chat. I'm not sure who you guys are talking about, but if there truly is a bot in the chat, maybe it's not. Yeah, the incompletist is saying Barbara Bush, child of Crowley. I mean, that's interesting because who else was born? Remember, the moonchild was in 1946. Who else was born in 1946? You guys know? What other president was born in 1946 like Donald Trump? Well, there was two actually. But 1946 was the birth of three presidents, and that just happened to be the year. That just happened to be the year that they did the moonchild ritual, right? So you had Trump, and then you had George Bush, and then you had Bill Clinton, all born in 1946. Oh, so somebody's okay. Somebody is saying that the person in the chat is a bot because his name is server bot, but no, that server bot is not an actual bot. It's a I've seen server bot in my comments for a long time now. So hey, Sean, are you in the chat still? I don't know if you can even jump on here, but if you can, I'm just wondering if you can. But yeah, so anyways, I need to look at this Steve Miller Band thing. Hold on. Let me look at this. Abracadabra. Have you ever guys noticed that the word abra? Have you guys ever noticed that the word abra starts with Abraham, like Abraham, like the Abrahamic religions? Okay, I'm putting the invite link in the chat, Sean. You can join forever, ever long you can. And big shout out to Sean. He gave me a lot of these connections. There's also a channel on YouTube called Angel White. Again, Angel White. I'll put the link in the chat. Go check out his channel about the moonchild Donald Trump connection. Yeah, Steve Miller Band has the song called Joker as well, which also is kind of like trickery, you know. The Righteous Way TV noticed after COVID-19, the gematria pops up out of nowhere, and I have the document. It's called Operation Pogo. Interesting. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they wanted to let this info out, you know. Let's see. Oh, yeah, okay, so Mary Lightsense says Abra is Spanish for open. Okay, well, that makes sense. Open door, right? That's perfect. That's perfect with all the open door symbolism I've been talking about. Lots of opening the door symbolism. So, but it reminds me of Abra, like the first letters of Abraham. I'm sure there's probably a connection there. The new Ghostbusters film is all about ritual magic, also has a scene with a storm approaching New York City from the ocean, much like a tsunami. Interesting. I might have to watch that movie. Mr. Mr. Crowley. I know a lot of people say it's Crowley. It probably is Crowley because that's how you would say it. So sorry if I'm bugging you guys by saying Crowley because I keep thinking of the song by Black Sabbath, Mr. Crowley, where he says Crowley, you know, but it's probably actually Crowley. That's what my guess would be. All right, Sean. Well, whenever you're able to jump on, just jump in. Let's see. Anyway, while we're waiting, oh, Sean's in here in the chat now. Can you hear me, Sean?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can say something again.
Hello.
Okay, yeah, I hear you.
Okay. Hey, what's up?
What's up, man?
Yeah, man, amazing stream. This one's insane.
Yeah, well, I think I already showed you most of it before I presented it, but yeah, I mean, for me, it's like, yeah, I don't know. And all the people in the chat have been giving some amazing additions to it too. I had no idea that this album by Steve Miller Band came out on June 5th. I need to go back and look at that, but if that's true, it's just another crazy sync with what's coming up in the next couple days.
No, yeah, for sure. I feel like there's like a lot, like a lot about this whole thing with like Trump and Magick and and Crowley and all that stuff. I think this is definitely like it's been brewing up for this. Especially because one thing I've thought about a lot is like I was kind of looking or anticipating him turning 78 because like there's that verse that Joseph talks about it a lot, how like talks about the Antichrist and it's the 8th king and the 7th is the 8th, or the 8th is of the 7.
Oh yeah,
78 connection.
Yeah, that's a good point about that. Well, and like I showed, the 78 was actually really huge here because of the magic word abracadabra equals 78, and the whole thing with Trump was also, it wasn't only the 77, but it was the 77 going into the 78. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So
no, for sure. And I think like there's also like something like interesting too about how it would connect with like him and Elvis, because wasn't like when Trump was 77, wasn't that when Elvis was like 88 years after he had died? So there's like that like overlap with them in the 7 and the 8s. Wasn't that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because right now Elvis is 89. So
it's kind of like the 7. It's almost like the 7s and the 8s. Like once Trump turned 78, it's like the merging of the two.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just putting up comments here. Somebody mentioned, hold on. Yeah, there's a song called "Do You Believe in Magic" by Lovin' Spoonful. I have to look in. There's probably so much stuff I could look into, like the way it's kind of set up. Like there's so many songs that probably have that connection. So yeah, do you have anything, Sean, that you specifically wanted to share, or anything that you saw? Or
I mean, I was just thinking like there's got to be like a connection with like Magic Johnson. I haven't looked into it at all, but it just made me think like there's got to be something about Magic Johnson. You know,
yeah,
like,
of course, yeah.
Especially with his connections with like Kobe and all that. And I know that the Illusion has mentioned like how HIV. Sorry, the airplane. Like how I'm trying to remember what it is, but the Illusion, if you're in there, he mentioned how like HIV or AIDS, something like connects to the Queen. With the letters, I think is.
Oh, I think I remember him saying something like that, but I don't remember exactly what it was.
Yeah, hopefully, if he's there, hopefully he can remind us.
Let's see, but yeah, the Magic Johnson thing. That's such a good point, because especially with what Illusion just shared about Michael Jordan and Kobe both winning championships in the Orlando Magic, stadium, I guess is what he said.
Yeah, and Shaq used to be on
Orlando, yeah. Too. Yep, Magic Johnson. I mean, I think that's pretty obvious. And then, the NBA has a lot of connections to Magic because they even have the team called the Magic, right? So, I mean,
and then that's where Wait, is Disney World in Orlando?
Orlando, yeah.
So then there's that Magic connection with like the Magic Kingdom.
Well, and that also might explain why in this year right now going on, you have the team from Florida in the NHL finals.
Yeah.
Because because there's no NHL team in Orlando, but the closest one is in well, actually the closer one would be Tampa Bay, but still it's in the same state. And it's in where Trump's at. Trump's in Miami anyways.
Wait, 1 second. What was that? Oh, okay. So I actually have to get going. Sorry, I thought I had more time, but I will talk to you guys later. Talk to you later.
All right, man. Take care. Thanks for stopping on for a bit. Have a good day at work.
You too. Or thanks.
All right, guys. Well, I guess I'll keep putting some comments up here. The Illusion is still in the chat. Yeah, Shaq played for the Magic and starred in the movie Kazam. Yeah, that's a good point too. I remember that. Let's see. Hey, Illusion, you want to come on for a bit? Like, I don't got so much time, but maybe like 30 minutes or so. You want to share anything? Or Joseph? Let me know if you guys want to jump on. All right, it looks like Illusion has 10 minutes. Sean, are you still there? Oh, I guess Sean was still there, but now he's gone. So we'll bring Illusion on. Be nice to have him on for a bit. He says he has 15 maybe. Oh, it looks like he already found the link. There he is.
Hello.
What's up, brother?
You good, mate? Yeah, brilliant stuff, mate. You're getting better by the day. And the people in the chat, what a blessing. So many incredible insights. So always learn from your streams, mate. Thank you for that. So all the stuff you're saying about Magick is mind-blowing. And like I said with LeBron and Kobe both winning NBA Finals in Orlando, the home of the Magic, and you said, which we know, that LeBron won the NBA Finals literally on National Father-Daughter Day, the year that Kobe and his daughter died. So there had to be some magic there, and like Luka Magic, the last game that Kobe attended at the Staples Center was Lakers against Dallas, where Luka was playing. So there's clearly some magic. And then you was talking about Shaquille O'Neal. So the reason I said that Shaquille O'Neal, he played for the Magic and he starred in Kazam, which was released in '96, which was the year Kobe was drafted. And the duration of the movie is 1 hour and 34 minutes. And Kobe's last ever game was on 13/4, 2016, which was the year that Trump was voted in to become the president. Now, this movie, Kazam, this is what it's literally described. Trapped for thousands of years, a magical genie finds himself indebted to a troubled child who releases him. However, he failed his master when he decides to pursue a musical career. I found it interesting that Kobe actually starred in a rap song. But the fact that this movie, Kazam, was literally about a magical genie. And Shaquille O'Neal, he played at the Magic, and he had his most success with Kobe at the Lakers. And Los Angeles means the Angels. And we know Kobe died the same day that the Staples Center was hosting the Grammys. So going back to Michael Jordan as well. If you remember with Michael Jordan, do you know where he ended his career? He ended it with the Washington Wizards.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah. Okay.
And he had many nicknames, but one of his nicknames was the Black Cat, which connects to Magic as well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But the fact that, so Michael Jordan was born on that 196, he was drafted on that 1906. The year that LeBron was born. And in 1984, which connects to George Orwell's book, you were talking about 121. Well, George Orwell died 121, who wrote 1984.
What year did he die? Or on December 1st?
No. George Orwell died January the 21st.
Okay.
Died December the 1st.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But what I'm saying is Orwell, he wrote 1984, which is about a dystopian society and the collapse of society. And MJ was drafted in 1984, the year LeBron was born. And 1984 was when Los Angeles was hosting the Olympics. And Los Angeles means the angels.
Yeah.
Like the fallen angels. So in regards to George Orwell, his final book was 1984. It was his 9th and final book. And that 9 connects to Trump and to Kobe. Trump was the 45th president, which is the 9th triangular number. But the 9s with Kobe, not many people talk about. We talk about his 666s and all of that. But his 9s, like highest scoring game, 81 points, 9 times 9. He played in California his whole career, which was founded 9-9. 9 people died in the helicopter crash. He died on 126. 1 + 2 + 6 is 9. He was inducted into the NBA Hall of Fame by Michael Jordan, the 135th day of the year. 1 + 3 + 5 is 9. So there's got to be something with that 9, which many people say is the number of completion because it's the last single-digit number. But I think it's because it's 3 + 3 + 3. And 33% of the angels were cast out of heaven. So I just think it's crazy that, again, Michael Jordan drafted the year King James was born, and he was drafted on King James's birthday. I'm talking about King James as in LeBron James's nickname.
Mm-hmm.
He's literally drafted the year that King James LeBron was born, and he was drafted on King James's birthday. So there's got to be.
I think that has a lot to do.
Yeah.
I think that has a lot to do with the what I was showing earlier in this presentation is the date June 19th can be written 196.
Yep.
And as I showed, there's a huge connection with the word abracadabra, which equals 196, and that was the total points in the first game of this series, this championship. That's what I have up here. It was the 666 game. You know, this just blew my mind. You know, like this. I mean, like in the Satanic cipher, when you type in the high mass on June 6, 2006, it equals 666, and that was exactly 216 months before this game, the Mavericks and
it's breathtaking, mate. And it was on did you know that was on the 78-year anniversary of Boston Celtics being founded for another 78?
Yeah, I did. I forgot to put that in there. That would have been a good addition in my 78 page because I also showed how abracadabra, which is Crowley's word, equals 78. And
so does Boston Celtics.
Right. Yeah.
But,
and
have you looked into Bill Russell? Did you see the 666 with Bill Russell?
I didn't look so much into him, but I remember people talking about that though.
I'll tell you. Can you just bring up Bill Russell? Just open a tab for Bill Russell. He's won the most ever NBA Finals. He's won 11, and Game 1 of the NBA Finals was on 6-6. 66 is the 11th triangular number. So if you go to Bill Russell, and you can check when he died, which you'll see was July the 31st, 2022.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then put in that date from when the Celtics qualified for the NBA Finals.
I'm assuming it was it was on the 27th, right?
Yeah.
Or the 26th.
Look how many days it was from when he died to when they made it to the NBA Finals.
Yeah. Wow.
And that was also the day that Walton died.
Yeah, right.
An NBA great.
That goes absolutely perfectly with what I just showed there too, with the first game being tied to that high mass ritual.
Yeah, exactly, mate. And like I said, have you seen now, if you're watching the NBA Finals, the Celtics are wearing the jerseys, it says Walton stitched into the jersey, right?
Uh-huh, yeah.
And if you type in Bill Walton, I actually knew him and his son when I lived in Manhattan Beach. They lived in Manhattan Beach. Yeah, his son would always play volleyball. He played for the Lakers as well. No, but if you go to Bill Walton in regards to when he was born.
I just didn't know he had that 150. I was just talking about that 150 too. That's crazy.
you are. I think wasn't Brady born with 150 days left in the year as well?
I think so because, yeah. Well,
and his career has to be Black Magic with going to 10 Super Bowls, winning 7 when he was like the 199th pick. There's got to be some Black Magic there. So if you look at Bill Walton now, you'll see. Look when he was born.
Yeah, November 5th, 1952.
All right, and what is that this year?
That's the election, right? Yep.
There you go. So Bill Walton, he was born exactly. Well, yeah, he was born exactly 72 years before this election.
Oh, really?
And Francis became the Pope the 72nd day of 2013, and Celtics, Catholic Church. And I know Joe Biden's Secret Service name is Celtic.
Right. So, and you know what's interesting? That November 5th day, you remember the guy I was showing at the end of the stream, the Mathers, Samuel Mathers, the guy who was one of the original founders of the Golden Dawn.
Yeah.
And he was supposedly listed as having died on November 5th or November 20th.
Yeah, that was so strange. Yeah.
But think about those 2 dates though. That's the election this year and Biden's birthday.
Wow, yeah, and it's bonfire night in England.
Yeah.
Bonfire night is basically where Guy Fawkes tried to bring down the Houses of Parliament.
Right.
So yeah.
And Crowley died at 72, didn't he?
Let me check. I can't say for 100%.
Connecting to the 72 with Walton.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, because Crowley was born in 47, the year after Trump won it. He was born the year that Elizabeth married Philip.
Right.
Which was in 47. And then Charles was born in 48, the same year Israel declared its independence. And then Israel gets attacked by Hamas whilst Charles is the king.
There was a connection. You're right when you mentioned that. I just thought about that. The June 14th, 1946 to Crowley's death. I know there was something I saw there.
Do you know what else happened in 1946, which people don't really mention? That's when the NBA was founded.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I didn't know that because I ran across. I should have put that in here too. I forgot all about that.
But Trump heavily connects to the NBA. He connects to everything. And by the way, another 72. You know, Trump connects to Russia and Putin. Well, the 2018 World Cup, that was in Russia, and it began on Donald Trump's 72nd birthday. And exactly 6 years later, the Euros are going to begin in Germany.
Right.
So Russia and Germany both heavily connect to war, and Trump has every war number going.
Yeah, and this whole German thing connecting with this, this Scottish, about the, this page I showed, with the Clash at the Castle being one day after the Scotland-Germany game.
Yeah, it's just absolutely crazy. I was trying to see if there was any German wrestlers, but
there is.
Who?
There is, and it's big. Right? He's big, right? He's actually starting to come up now. His name is Ludwig Kaiser, and my girlfriend always says Kaiser.
That was Hitler's nickname.
Right? Yeah. It means king, I think, or ruler.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, leader.
And he's coming up right now, and he just he's working underneath of the guy who won the King of the Ring, which is Gunther, and
Gunther lost his Intercontinental Championship 666 days after winning it, didn't he, to Sami Zayn?
Right. And look at what Gunther equals.
Oh my word!
It's that 93, that moonchild number I was talking about. The Saturn moonchild number, the Thelema number.
That's mental.
And he won that. Gunther. Oh, that makes complete sense too. Gunther won or won the King of the. Oh, this is so insane. Gunther won the King of the Ring in Saudi Arabia, where they walk around the ring of Saturn. He won the King of the Ring.
Wow. I wonder if Drew McIntyre, the chosen one from Scotland. He's got to have a big role in this pay-per-view.
He does, because his birthday was the day of the first game.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So he was born on that. He was part of that 666 ritual. That's why he's also going right now into the Clash of the Castle, and facing for the title now against Priest, a guy named Priest.
Oh, you got the High Priest in the Bible. Oh my word. And
right.
Those 666s may connect to Boston winning it, because they can get the 18th championship, which is 6 + 6 + 6.
Right. And that just connects with this probably too, because this high mass ritual on 6606, and then 216 months later was this first game, which was McIntyre's birthday, his 39th birthday, by the way. And 39 is also the gematria of Gunther here, but it's kind of like the reverse of the 93, which I was talking about. And New York also equals 39, Gemini 39, and this is all happening in Gemini. So there's just like this is absolutely insane how this all lines up, man. Like, absolutely insane.
Did you know this? I don't know if you know this. Do you know who the head coach of Dallas Mavericks is?
Yeah, it's Jason Kidd.
You know he shares the same birthday as Kyrie Irving?
I didn't know that. What day is that?
It's the 23rd of March, the 233, the 51st prime. Now, what's even crazier about it is, the 233 has the connection to 13, doesn't it? Because 233 is the 51st prime, connects to the Illuminati, but 233 is the 13th Fibonacci number.
Right, yeah.
And Dallas just made it to the NBA Finals the first time in 13 years. And Dallas equals 13, and 41 the 13th prime. But if you look this up, like the chances of this, Kyrie Irving, oh my word, the 93.
No, this is insane right here. I just happened to put his middle initial in, which I often do that because, Donald J. Trump, Joseph R. Biden. And look at this. Jason F. Kidd equals Luka Doncic. And he's coaching Luka Doncic,
But Kyrie Irving has said in recent interviews that his idol growing up was Jason Kidd. And they have the same birthday. And they made a big point, like Kyrie Irving lost 11 straight games after losing game 1 of the NBA Finals, right? And Dallas ended on 89 points, which is the 11th Fibonacci number. And he wears number 11, and he got his 11th straight loss against Boston since he stood on their logo, mocking it. And then Dallas got 89 points, the 11th Fibonacci number. So it's like, what is this? And we know Kyrie Irving's number 11, Luka's 77. You got Flight 77, Flight 11, operated by American Airlines. That's the stadium where Dallas play in, American Airlines Arena. So it's just all coded. You know what I mean? It's just
right. You know what's interesting about Kyrie Irving? He has the middle name Andrew.
You
know what that connects to?
Andrew.
But that connects to Scotland because they have St. Andrew's Cross.
They got St. Andrews, the golf course as well, which connects to Trump.
Drew McIntyre is named Andrew.
Yeah.
So, yep.
It's just, I think at this point they can't all possibly know that they're all connected. It's some sort of magic for sure. And you know that Drew McIntyre was born in air and Satan's the prince of the air?
Right, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just things like that. Like he can't decide where. And you know Drew McIntyre's height is 1.96 meters, yeah?
Oh no, I didn't catch that.
So even his height and it's too much for it all to be being done by a group of magicians, in my opinion. Maybe Satan's the magician. I don't know, but and
then these people just somehow channel it somehow. That would make sense.
That makes complete sense. Being able to channel it and have access to it, but not necessarily be behind it. But they can have access to it.
I can't believe he's 1.96 meters. That's insane.
Yeah. It's
Abracadabra.
that's what I mean. Like, unless they're making up his height, there's no reason to do so. I've actually seen Drew McIntyre, and he is huge. I used to go to the.
Oh yeah.
When I lived in LA, I used to go to the events where they would sign autographs and stuff, and he was a monster. Like,
you know what's even crazier
guy.
about this McIntyre is he has the M as his symbol, right? With the sword going through it.
Yeah, the sword, yeah.
And his middle name is McLean, you know, like Donald McLean, who wrote American Pie.
Yeah, my American Pie, yeah.
And the M was so huge because that was also connected with Marshall Mathers, Eminem, and the guy who McGregor Mathers. And if you look at McGregor Mathers, it was the guy I was talking about earlier who was in the Moonchild book by Aleister Crowley. He gave himself the name McGregor Mathers because of his Irish Highland heritage. And of course, that's where McIntyre's from. So it's all about this M because, of course, that's the 13th letter. And
yes, it is.
So yeah, I think that's a huge. And if you flip the WWE logo upside down, obviously the W, you also get the M. So
and you get the 33 as well.
Yeah. So that, I mean, and it's just crazy too. You're mentioning Kyrie Irving because look, these are the numbers I was just talking about again. The 150. I was just talking about that number. Of course, he has the 150. So he literally has all these other connections to the Magic Word, Moonchild, Dallas Mavericks, Harry Houdini, all this stuff I just mentioned.
They often call him, mate, literally on the court, they often call it Kyrie Magic as well. They call him a magician with the ball so often, the commentators. Because he does things with the ball that people can't do. His dribbling and his handle, nobody else can do what Kyrie does with the ball.
Wow.
Even LeBron said it. Like, talent-wise, nobody's better than Kyrie Irving. Right. And he's not the biggest, you know what I mean? He ain't the biggest, the tallest, but what he can do is just absolutely... He actually won the NBA Finals in 2016 with LeBron, didn't he, with Cleveland?
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yep. That was... I remember that now. I mean, I remember... Actually, that's how I kind of remember him mostly is when he was with the Cavs and LeBron, you know? That was... Yeah.
It was unbelievable. Like, just insane. And then he kind of disappeared. He went to Brooklyn because he connects to 9/11 heavily. Does Kyrie Irving? The whole Dallas Mavericks do as well. I've told you they're two big men, Gafford and what's the other guy called? They got the two big players. Somebody might be able to help me in the chat. They've got Gafford and they've got this young lad. And I should remember his name. I'll figure it out. But their nickname, I think it's Derek Lively and Gafford. Their nickname is the Twin Towers.
Oh yeah, I think I remember somebody mentioning that. That's insane, man.
Yeah,
I totally forgot to mention that in my decode of the Flight 77. I totally forgot to mention that.
And what about this? Do you remember Flight 175?
Oh, 575.
No, 175 on 9/11.
Oh,
United Airlines Flight 175.
Well, that was part of the ritual too, right?
No, look, bring it. Just type in Flight 175 and watch this. I'm going to show you this whole NBA Finals is revolved around 9/11. I called it ages ago, the 9/11. All season I've been coding 9/11 with the NBA. So go Flight 177. Right, read it out, the description. Look where it
United
took off
Airlines. Oh, from Boston to Los Angeles.
And who are the two most successful franchises in the NBA?
Right, Boston and Los Angeles.
Now check this out. I don't know. Look at the crew as well. You see the 9? I keep seeing the 9.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if you know this. You're going to be able to guess. Do you know the Boston Celtics NBA Finals record currently?
NBA Finals record currently?
Yeah, all time. I'll tell you. Boston Celtics currently right
17
now.
17-5, right?
They're 17-5, mate. And look how Flight 175 was from Boston.
Yeah.
And now they're playing Dallas, who play at the American Airlines Stadium. United Airlines Stadium, whatever it is.
Huh. So if they get to 18-5, ooh, that's not good with the 18-5 because that to me tells that's like the 185, right?
Yeah, and if you if you actually go to Bill Russell, type in his full name, which is William Felton Russell.
William Felton Russell.
Yeah. You might need. No, sorry. Type in William Russell. William Russell.
Ah.
See the 185?
Yeah, and the same cipher as Donald John Trump.
Yeah. He's also got the 59, and Luca was born on the 59th day of the year. He always gets Dallas's 59th point. But I coded recently Alcaraz, the Spaniard, to win the French Open, and he did. And he came into the French Open with an 18-5 season record. And he won the French Open the same day that Boston took a 2-0 lead over Dallas. Now, check this out. I'm not saying this is going to happen. I haven't gone deep. My gut tells me it's going to go 2-1, just for one main reason. Luca's highest points is 73, the 21st prime. I've got a feeling this is going to go 2-1, but I need to go deep. But Luca scored 73 points. It's his highest scoring game. That's the 21st prime. I have a feeling it could go 2-1.
Yeah, that could, because the 73, yeah, it would be huge, because that would also connect to Saturn too, because Saturn, one of big Saturn's big numbers is 21. And like I said, everything that's going on right now with, is related to the 93, which is Saturn, but then the 21 is huge in general, just in so many things.
Well, if you think about Brady and Saturn, this is one of the most clearest codes you can do. So, do you know Brady retired 7-3 in Super Bowls?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Right. So he was drafted 199th pick, and Pope Francis was born on Saturnalia, which is 1217, the 199th prime. Saturn has 7 rings. So does Brady. Now, Brady retired 7-3 in Super Bowls. 73 is the 21st prime. It's why I predicted his retirement date 18 months before would be 2-1, February the 1st. 73, the 21st prime. And Brady, who I've shown, I've written books about this. Brady 7-3 in Super Bowls. He got that record the 21st year of the 21st century. Then he retired on 2-1. But Queen Elizabeth was married for 73 years, and she got married at age 21.
Right.
Maybe it's to do with the birth dates. Like you said, Trump was born on a blood moon, wasn't he?
Right. Yeah. And there's a connection with Saturn and the moon too, because notice, well, hold on, I'll show you. Saturn is 21, right? And moon, of course, is 21 in the same cipher. So and Taylor Swift last year, when she came out with her Karma song, the song was all about the moon and Saturn together. And I think that's because you have Saturn being the god of time, and the moon is also is one of the ways we tell time, right? The sun and the moon. So it definitely seems to me to be connected with, like this. And I think that's what kind of means by the red moon, like in a way, like a blood moon.
Yeah.
And Saturn being known as the Reaper, blood red, and then the moon, the red moon. So kind of a mixture of Saturn and the moon. And in fact, I think there's an interesting connection. Yeah. See, look what you get when you type in Saturn moon. It equals 150 again, which is what I was talking about with the whole magic word thing, Dallas Mavericks.
It's crazy, mate. What about Adele? Adele, her most successful album was an album called 21. And she released some songs which are so biblical. She has a song called Turning Tables. Jesus turned the tables.
Right, yeah.
And then she has a song called Set Fire to the Rain. And obviously God flooded the earth, and Jesus is going to return and set the world on fire. So again, it just all seems to be completely coded. I don't think Adele knew as a baby that she was going to become this superstar. She was born on 5/5 as well, for your Satan. She has the same birthday as Alcaraz, who just won the French Open. So, yeah.
I just wanted to go back to the 185s for a second because it would be quite if the Boston were to get to 118-5, like 185.
Yeah.
I mean, that would connect to Trump, but that's a pretty ominous number because World Trade Center 185, stock market crash 185, US dollar collapse 185.
Well, that all happened after 9/11, didn't it?
Right. And just because I watch the markets and I do some charts, I watch charts. Right now we're clearly I don't think people realize how much we are close to the collapse of the 1929 stock market and the 2008 bubble. We like if you look at the charts and
the US is trillions of dollars in debt. Trillions.
Yeah, and like I said, if you look at the charts, we are literally like days away from the turning point, which decides whether we start breaking down in the markets or we start going break through.
Yeah, I said it to me, one of my best mates. I said this crash is going to occur when the euros are on because we'll be distracted by the euros. That's what's going to happen. It'll be like it'll be put in the newspapers, but they'll be telling you that England beat Germany, and like you'll be focusing on that. So yeah, you're right. Well, I'm not saying you're right. I think you're right.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that number 185 to me. I've seen it's just the fact that stock market crash, US dollar collapse, and World Trade Center, which is also about money, and that collapse. So you have that 185, and then once you pointed out to me that William Russell equals 185, and they could go to 18-5 possibly, and that associates with luck too, right? With the Celtics and luck. And
yeah, and look at the last four letters of his name.
Of who? Which one? Of who?
Russell. Look at the last four letters of his name. Sell.
Oh yeah.
The Bible says that, like Revelation 13:16, you can't buy or sell without the mark of the beast. And we know the beast number is 666.
Exactly. I totally forgot that basketball equals 185.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So doesn't it make sense that Boston, they're going to become the all-time leaders in regards to NBA Finals wins?
Yeah, and Book of Revelation 185, man. Book of Revelation 185.
Yeah, and that's something I think we're living out. So if it ends 4-2, we know the beast reigns for 42 months. Yeah. It's just absolutely mental, mate. Like,
yeah,
that we're witnessing all. Did you say that? I think that Joseph Mazzello, like Joseph was Jesus's dad on earth, wasn't he? The head coach of Boston. And he was recently asked, like, how does it feel that this is the first time in many years that there's like two black coaches in the NBA Finals? Because you know Jason Kidd, I think his mother's black, or his father.
Yeah, he definitely, I can tell by how he looks, he kind of has a bit of a mix.
But then they asked Joe, Boston coach, how does that feel? And he was like, well, what about the fact, when was the last time there was two Christians in an NBA Finals coaching? So he turned it to Christianity, and his name's Joseph. And he was actually born, this guy, on the 181st day of the year, the 42nd prime. And he lost the NBA Finals to the Warriors, didn't he? 4-2. I'm not sure if it was him, but the last time Celtics got to the NBA Finals, they lost 4-2 to Stephen Wardle Curry, or Wardle Stephen Curry. And he became 4-2 in NBA Finals. And they did it on 616, which is the alternate number of the beast. Look, Joseph Mazzello, 185. 3 out of 4 ciphers. That's Joseph there. Brilliant. I didn't know that. I've never put in.
Well, I mean, that just adds even more weight to this 185 thing. I think it's really, really interesting.
Yeah, it's going to take something crazy now. We know these sports, anything can happen, but it looks
it's going to take some magic if Luka Magic's going to come back, right?
Yeah, literally, if Dallas come back and win, you for those people who bet, I know you don't, but just take Luka prop. Only way they can win is if Luka, believable is if he pulls off like masterclasses game after game. But yeah, the Luka Magic, some of the shots that guy does, it's almost like we're being mocked. You know where, I don't know if you've seen the shot. You know when you're at the stadium and they've got the big screens, like in a hockey stadium and a basketball stadium, you've got the big screens hovering at the top of the stadium, yeah?
Yep.
Luka got a basketball, threw it at the screen, came back and went in the hoop. You can watch it. It's not like it wasn't a commercial. You know where sometimes they do ridiculous things and it's a commercial and you're like, oh, I don't think that was true. This was inside the arena. Fans were there.
He literally did that for real in the arena.
In the arena, did it for real. Fans there. And I remember, I wanted to look at the reaction of his teammates. Half of them were like, just, that's mad. Like they knew it was Magick. You know, like, oh, here he goes again with his putting out his magic to the audience. And then the others were like, oh my word. Wow, Luka's just so good. That's why I start to think some of them know, some of them don't.
Yeah.
I think like Kyrie Irving will be aware, but I'm not sure every single player. You know the players that play like maybe 2 minutes? They come in, maybe it's to get a rebound or they come in for a couple of minutes.
I mean, to me...
Same in the NFL. Most of them don't really do much.
I mean, to me, it would kind of like go hand in hand with kind of like how the secret societies work. Because you know how the people at the bottom of the secret societies, they don't know much more than what normal people do. You know, they just want to be a part of it. So they just get initiated into it just to be part of it. And they don't seek to be any more higher. Right. But they're still part of the club. Right.
Yeah. Another great example is we can talk about wrestling. You can go from Vince McMahon to Stephanie, to Triple H, to John Cena, to Randy Orton, those. And then you can go to somebody who's training at NXT. Yeah. It's all part of the same tree.
Right.
But the guy who's trying to get a slot on a NXT show is not Brock Lesnar. You know what I mean?
Right. And you can almost...
level, even though they're all wrestlers, they're all signed by the same company. It's the same with Masonry. There's different levels to it. Same with politics. There's different levels to it. And it'll be the same with, there's a big difference between Luka and probably a guy who's a backup on the Pistons.
Yeah.
I don't think they're all on the same level.
And in wrestling, though, you can almost see when it's time for that. Like, you can see some of these wrestlers that have come up and that are like really like low on the totem pole, and then all of a sudden you can almost like see when like the magic's been turned on, you know, like
bang on. Like Cody Rhodes now. Like Cody Rhodes now is the best example.
Right.
The magic's just been turned on. All of his numbers are there. His story, his nickname, it all is just connected. That's why they sometimes say it's magic in a bottle, don't they?
Right. They do say that.
It's just magic in a bottle, and there'll be truth to it. And then some of them are incredible, and then they just disappear.
Yeah. It's almost like they said, no, I'm done with it, you know.
It's either that one, or their numbers are not there anymore.
Right, yeah.
And they were used for what they needed to be used for. Now, American Nightmare is because America's about to get annihilated. It makes sense that the American Nightmare is in the headlines, doesn't it? And
yeah, today is his dad's death date. The American Dream died today.
Oh, Dusty Rhodes. And remember with the dust, I said that man came from dust.
Right, yeah.
And then he's got his brother, and then you had Cain and Abel, all of this stuff. So it's just all connected, man. And you know, this is Boston Celtics' 23rd NBA final appearance, and that's Jordan's number. That 23 is connected to Magic and 666. It's their 23rd appearance. It's their 23rd appearance, and it's Dallas's third. The 23-3, which is Jason Kidd and Kyrie Irving's birthday. That's why they're there. 23.
Yeah, that's a good point right there.
It's just all coded. Like, I want to believe that it's all organic. I enjoyed it a lot more. Can't really watch anything anymore. But it's not. But I don't think they all know. That's why you get the genuine emotion when they win WrestleMania or they win there seems to be genuine emotion. Yeah. And some of the other players, it just seems really forced. You don't really get much emotion from the coaches because I think they know. I think they already know, the coaches. I think they're higher up in regards to Magic. I think there's the owners. And then there's the managers, because notice most of the managers and coaches were ex-players, weren't they? So they would have had an element of knowledge. Like Jason Kidd won the NBA Finals with Dallas as their point guard.
Right.
And now he's led them to the finals as a coach. And they're saying that if Dallas win, he's going to become the GOAT of Dallas. And his last name's Kidd, which is a baby goat. And the GOAT, like, Brady's the GOAT. He was drafted by a Boston franchise, the Patriots, which connects to the Queen because it's New England. That's why he connects to the Queen.
Yeah. Boston annoys me though. I always never liked, when I was still in like the world and I was still loving sports. I always hated Boston teams
because they were so successful. We like that. We don't like the successful team unless it's our team.
Even think of the, well, for me, you know what my favorite team was growing up, right? I think I told you this, or I told people this.
No, go on.
In football, it was the Colts, right? And of course, who was the arch enemy of Peyton Manning and the Colts for all those years?
Brady.
Yeah. So and who was barely even able to get one past them for one game. And remember, do you remember that game? I remember always back in 2006 or 2007 when Patriots were up like 21 points at halftime, and Peyton Manning came back and actually got them to the Super Bowl where they beat the Chicago Bears in like a really like horrible game where it was like low score, rainy game in Miami.
Yeah. I went into the NFL then. I didn't know anything about it, but I've done my study. And I remember when Brady on 2-5 came back from 25 points down and won against the Falcons. And I think Falcons equals 25. But it's so crazy that, like, you believe in Christ and what you said, you supported the Colts. Well, Jesus, he arrived to Jerusalem riding a colt.
Yeah.
Just things like that. That's in Zechariah 9:9. And I think Brady's debut was with 99 days left in the year.
And those were my favorite two sports teams were the Detroit Red Wings of hockey and the Colts of Indianapolis. But as far as basketball, that was my least favorite sport. I mean, I liked basketball, but I didn't really have a team. I didn't really have like a favorite team. I actually liked the Timberwolves a bit, only because I was a big fan of Wolves back when I was a kid, but I never really followed them. Plus they were horrible most of the time. So it was like as a kid, it was mostly just the Red Wings and the Colts. Did you see
Dallas knocked out the Timberwolves, and George Bush Sr.'s Secret Service name is Timberwolf?
Right. Yeah. And his birthday's tomorrow.
It is. It's the anniversary of Nuggets winning the NBA Finals tomorrow.
Oh, that's interesting. Gold nuggets. I've been seeing lots of gold symbolism with stuff right now, and also with the I don't know if you saw it, but my video on how all the 222s connect to tomorrow. Tomorrow will be 222 weeks after the COVID pandemic, right?
I didn't know. I've not watched it, but I'll watch it though. I've not seen it.
Yeah, so tomorrow is 222 weeks exactly after the 3/11/2020. So there's your 222. And
wow.
Tomorrow is exactly 2022 days after George H.W. Bush died.
Nope. I know that Wuhan coronavirus equals 222, doesn't it?
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of 222s that line up with tomorrow. Tomorrow is 222 days before the next election or next inauguration.
Oh my goodness.
So that's why I told people watch out for tomorrow with at least something in the news, probably connecting with a 222, or I don't know, but I mean,
there's going to be lots of twos. It's 202 days left in the year as well, isn't it? Which is skull and bones.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So.
Wow, mate.
Well, mate, I think I'm actually going to get off though.
Yeah, I gotta get off as well. I gotta go coach, get changed. But yeah, brilliant stuff, mate. And God bless everyone in the chat. Thank you for letting me on, mate.
Thanks for coming on, and I'd like to have you on again soon. With Roundtable.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out all day, mate. Whenever you want, as long as I'm available, I'll jump in.
Okay, man. Well, yeah. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day with your coaching and all that stuff. And
cheers. All right. Have a blessed day. Oh, by the way, just before I go, is everything good with you with the flood and all of that, with the water in Bavaria? Are you good?
Yeah, we were blessed. We got very blessed.
All right.
It pretty much came to our doorstep and then stopped. You believe that?
Okay. All right. Yeah, because I've dealt with stuff. I live in a part of the world where there's hurricanes. And yeah, you have that. You're just sitting around waiting for something to happen. And more often than not, it's always, you're okay. But it's always that thought like, oh my word. So yeah, I know
Right.
that feeling. It's just very like annoying, like frustrating, just waiting around. All right, mate. Well, take care. God bless you. I'll speak to you soon.
Yeah. God bless,
Bye.
man. Thanks. Bye. All right, chat. Thank you guys so much for all the great comments. Thanks for Adam the Illusion for coming on. Thanks for Sean coming on. And I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. If you guys want to support the channel, please hit the like button. I've got 104 likes, so hopefully I can get, I think this stream's worth a bit more than 104 likes. So if there's anyone else in the chat who hasn't hit the like button yet, please do so. And with that being said, I will see you guys in the next video. Take care. Much love.